DESIblitz.com.
Hello friends, I'm Zakir Hussain and you're watching me on DESIblitz.
Hi, this is Faisal from DESIblitz.com. We have with us today famous Indian tabla player Ustad Zakir Hussain. Zakir ji, welcome to DESIblitz.com.
Thank you Faisal and thank you to DESIblitz for having me here today.
Born in the home of late Ustad Rakha Sahab, what was your childhood like, Zakir Sahab?
What childhood? From the second day of my life when I was brought home from the hospital, it was okay, time to learn. And how does that happen? My father would hold me in his arm, and I should tell you this, when I was first brought home, in Muslim homes usually, the father recites a prayer in the boy's ear as the first thing that the boy should hear or something like that. So I was brought home and I was handed to him, and he put his lips to my ear, and instead of reciting a prayer, he started rhythms. He started starting rhythm. And my mother was kind of upset about it, and she said, "What are you doing? You're supposed to do prayers." And he said, "Well, this is my prayer. This is how I pray to whatever the spirits there are. To me, all the spirits are universal, and I know that he's going to do this. So I'm going to make sure that he hears this as the first sound in his ear." So that's how my training began, and it went on till I was about three and a half years old. And after that, he left me to my own devices. So because all that jumbled stuff was in my head, and now I had to find a way to be able to take all that out onto this instrument that I was watching everyone else play. And so that happened. And then from the age of 7, when I had actually somewhat proven myself to him, then he said, "Would you like to learn seriously?" And I said yes. And so he said, "Tomorrow we start." Tomorrow meant at 2:30 in the morning. He woke me up, and then till about 6 o'clock in the morning, we talked rhythms. We didn't play instrument, we just sang back and forth. And he talked to me about rhythms, the history of it, the masters that have gone before, and all the compositions and where they came from, their origination, their significance, and so on and on. For the next 3 or 4 years, that's what I did. So that's what my childhood was, growing up in my father's home. Music always, all around, 24/7. And I have to say that it was a great way of growing up. And nothing to complain about. It was something that I think that maybe other kids would have been turned off to getting so much of it. For me, it was just, the best thing that could ever happen.
What tradition of tabla playing do you belong to?
Well, there are 5 different schools, and my father, having been born and brought up in Punjab, then that was the school we obviously first studied, that style. And so I obviously studied that with him. But in those days when he was growing up, my father, there was not that much interaction and travel between different maestros from different regions of India. So therefore, individualities was maintained, gharanas or schools were maintained. But in this day and age, with all that's available to you, internet, Facebook, all that stuff, you learn much more than what you get from just your own teacher. And you have a chance of assimilating, analyzing, dissecting, and kind of incorporating whatever it is that you've heard, and if it fits into your scheme of things. So that's where we are in this day and age. So most of tabla players of my generation and younger generation are much more well-versed in all styles of music, but they all have their core learning, which they got from their teachers, whether it's Lucknow, Banaras, Delhi, Farrukhabad, and Punjab, or so on. I got my core learning as the Punjab style of tabla playing.
You have performed with some of the biggest names in Indian and Western music. Which artists would you still like to work with?
Probably all of them. And the reason for that is when you first play with someone like, say, Ravi Shankar or Ali Akbar Khan or Shiv Kumar Sharma, Hari Prasad Chaurasia, John McLaughlin, whoever it is, in the first 8 or 10 years of your playing with them, you're just getting to know them. You're just getting to know their temperament because you're not spending 24/7 time with them. You see them off and on. So information is exchanged and you find, and you notice, have you ever seen that movie called Groundhog Day? Right? And so it takes such a long time to get to know each other. So I found that like 30 years down the road that I had a better grasp on how to play with Shiv Kumar Sharma or how to play with Hari Prasad Chaurasia or how to play with Ali Akbar Khan. And it made sense to me to be able to now interact with them so that I can do more justice to what I have learned from them, what I have seen the musical universe can be from their point of view, so that I can then put my 2 bits in there, a table lamp there or a flower pot there or whatever, and make them feel comfortable about, and at the same time happy about that I've spent the time getting to know who they are. So for me, it's important even at this point for that to happen. If you say somebody new, like say, okay, I want to play with Sting, for instance, I don't know him. I know his music is fabulous, but I don't know him, so I cannot promise that that's going to be a great experience. I'm rather hesitant in being able to say that. I mean, like playing with the symphony orchestra, for instance, this is very new for me. It never happened before for me. I saw others do it, and especially for a tabla, an Indian instrument, to play in a symphony orchestra, never heard of it. So it was something new, something challenging, something exciting. But even then, I was, knowing the tradition of symphony orchestra, figuring out what a concerto is, what a sinfonietta is or whatever, it was still, a hesitancy. Will this be okay? Can I do this? Or will I be comfortable in it? But not the same. If you ask me to play with Amjad Ali Khan Sahib, it's like, yes, because I know now what it is that I should do to make him feel comfortable on stage with me.
You're performing in Birmingham with the
thank you for telling me
Orchestra of India. How have the preparations come along, and what can fans expect?
Well, first of all, I hope the fans come with an open mind, not with preconceived ideas, because that would mean that we'd have to first spend an hour breaking them down. We don't have that kind of time. When you're playing a concerto, you have a limited amount of time, and in that you have to convince them that what they are hearing is something special. So, first of all, this is one of the first attempt at this kind of things. I don't think there was, when this tabla concerto was commissioned, I don't think there was any other tabla concerto ever written. Yes, there was a sitar concerto written, but not a tabla concerto. So, and to take a rhythm instrument sitting in the center of 95 melodic instruments and have it be the lead or the solo instrument sounds kind of wacky in the American sense. But it is something that they interested me with. They thought I could do it. They trusted me with it, and they asked me to do it. And then as I was going along, I figured out this actually is the way to go about it, because when you have a sitar concerto, a sitar is conveying a raga mode, performing a raga scale. And a raga does not allow for any other notes to exist inside of it except for the one prescribed for the raga. And that means Western harmonies and counterpoints, canons, and all those styles are very dangerously out of place in that system. But when you're a rhythm player, you don't have to worry about all that. As a rhythm player, you bring your rhythmic repertoire up, and then you color it with all these harmonic and sonic elements, melodic elements that are around you, and actually have them play tabla, but melodically. And so it became really a fun thing to do, easy to do. I had great help from two really very dear friends of mine. One was a bass player, a classical bass player named Akbar, and the other one was a man called Osam Azeldin, who was a piano player. And they kind of assisted me and helped me to figure out how to orchestrate it. I could write the melodies, but someone had to figure out which instrument would be best suited for this particular passage or that particular passage. And for that, you needed an orchestral arranger. And so that help came from them. But melodically, this is a repertoire of tabla that has been tuned. Instead of dha, dhin, tete, ghege, you have sa, ga, ma, dha, those syllables. And because I'm a rhythm player, I'm taking liberties and using harmonies and counterpoints and canons and all those elements that Western classical music provides. And so that's how it all came together. It was a fun and a great learning experience. And, I'm really flattered that they chose me, and thankful to the Symphony Orchestra of India for commissioning for me for this. And I'm eager to share this along with the SOI, Symphony Orchestra of India, the piece with the audience in Birmingham. And I'm hoping that they would, accept it as a humble offering. It's the first of its kind, so therefore there are, I'm sure, elements which still need chipping and chiseling and all that stuff. It's a work in progress, and hopefully the next tabla concerto might be concerto number 2, might be, more towards what it should be.
Zakir Hussain, thank you for talking to us. We've certainly learned a lot from this guftagu. We wish you all the best.
Thank you, Faisal. And I would like to say I'm Zakir Hussain, and to the listener of DESIblitz, thank you all very much for watching us.